Hey guys, welcome to the foster care saga continues. Like version whatever it is, 3.8, I have no idea. Here I am again with another update. I don't mind sharing our foster care journey. I just wish it wasn't like so like this, that every time I updated life was completely different. And yeah, okay, so my last update I shared, BB-8 was returned to birth family. That happened on a Thursday at the beginning of November. And yeah, so that happened. And then the next Friday, so 8 days later, we got a call saying, oh, guys, this life, asking if we would have BB-8 for the weekend. And during this time, R2 is still with us. He hasn't been returned at all or anything. Yeah, asking if we would have BB-8 for the weekend, but not like officially. It's very off the books. Kind of like something happened with birth family. They needed someone to take her for the weekend. Normally there would be a child care, I don't know if like maybe like crisis nursery type idea for this, but they were all full. And so they were asking us, and I don't know, so we said yes, but I don't know what they would have done if we would have said no. Like, if she went with us, it kind of could be off the books, and she didn't, because they didn't want to put her back into care because all the paperwork and the court and all that stuff that goes on with that. So we said yes. That was Friday. I went in and I got her Friday afternoon, and the social worker said, since she's technically not here, we're not going to get paid or whatever, but she would come on Monday when she picked up BB-8, and she would give us a grocery voucher to help cover some of the costs or whatever. And it's like, it's not about the money, but it's just like, man, that sounds a little sketchy. Like, there's no paper trail whatsoever for her coming for the weekend. Yeah, so she was with us, and then Monday came, and at 8:30 I got a text, 8:25, and it said, the visit for today is cancelled and the return of BB-8 is postponed. And I was like, okay, I didn't know there was a visit. What was supposed to happen the Friday that BB-8 came to us? Oh man, we gotta back up. Okay, so the Thursday before BB-8 came, I was texting and it just said, just want to confirm that R2 is coming for a sleepover tomorrow and that that's all good, because his last visit he was there for 2 hours, and then I was told to come pick him up because family wasn't feeling well. So I just wanted to confirm Thursday night, and I got a text back saying the sleepover was cancelled. I was like, is it cancelled if no one told me it was cancelled? Because I'm bringing the kid in. So I was like, okay. And then they said the plan is for a visit 9 to 12. 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. there. And I said, oh, that doesn't actually work for me. I could do 9 to 3, but I can't do 9 to 12. And then I got a text back saying, oh, actually got tested for COVID, so we have to isolate. Okay, so sleepover was completely canceled. So there was supposed to be a sleepover Friday to Saturday with R2. Instead, what happened is R2 didn't go to that, and we got BB-8. So BB-8 was with us for the weekend. And then Monday came around and I got a text saying, yeah, the return of her was postponed and R2's visit was canceled. And I didn't know the visiting schedule. I was only told up until this sleepover. There was nothing more planned. So it was kind of surprising, and I wasn't gonna go in because I hadn't heard anything from the social worker. The social worker that phoned me to pick up BB-8, she has been the social worker for the kids for a couple weeks, and this was the very first time she's ever phoned me. It has always been other people telling me things that she should be telling me. So Monday came around, and I waited around all day waiting to see what was going on. I tried phoning the social worker that is in charge of the kids, and I left her a message at 3 or 4. I was like, okay, like end of the day, I gotta leave a message because I haven't heard anything. I'm assuming she's not coming out here to pick her up or whatever. So I heard nothing. And then Tuesday, finally at 10:30, just before 10:30, I phoned a different person. And I was like, do you know what's going on? Because I don't know what's going on. She said, we're having a meeting in 5 minutes and then I'll phone you after that. Okay, wait a little bit more. Afternoon came, still nothing. I think it was like 3 o'clock. And then I was like, okay, I'll phone someone else. Or I'll phone again. So I phoned the person that said she would let me know. And she said, oh, didn't the social worker that called you last week, she told me she was going to let you know what was going on. I said, no, I haven't heard from her. I can't get a hold of her. She doesn't answer when I phone her. So she said, generally the idea is for BB-8 to be returned the next day, which is Wednesday. And then, except there's like there was a snowstorm going on, so maybe Thursday if the roads were bad. And for R2, she said just to continue visits and then like be returned really soon once daycare is available. And I just, that one got me for some reason, because R2 hasn't even been for a sleepover and is a very high anxiety kid, doesn't do well with change. So we're gonna go from visits, which mostly haven't even been full day visits. Some of them have only been like 2 hours and I have to come back and get him. And we're gonna just like return him. And it's not even like, oh, I want to keep him, he's mine. Although I really do feel that way because he's such a little sidekick, he doesn't leave my side all day long. But it's more like, this is just gonna be setting them up for failure. This is gonna overwhelm birth family. This is gonna overwhelm him. Like, he's gonna end up back in care and he's gonna be traumatized, like, and just, it's gonna be so bad. So then I started trying to phone social workers. I left another voicemail with the one that I just couldn't get a hold of. And yeah, and then I just didn't hear anything. So I finally went to a supervisor. She is not the supervisor of the social worker I couldn't get a hold of, but the supervisor of the social worker the kids used to have that went on leave. She has been so good, so helpful. And I phoned her and I was pretty angry. I don't know if I think my frustration came through on the phone, and I think she could tell that it wasn't directed at her, but I was, so frustrated. Like, this system is just so broken, and like, how do they expect this to work? So I talked to her a bit and she said, okay, that's weird. She hasn't phoned you. I'll, try to get a hold of someone, get her to phone you. And then shortly after that, she did, get a hold of me. So I think someone told her to phone me. So she phoned me and said, yeah, returning BB-8 tomorrow, unless weather is terrible. And then also bring R2 for a visit. And then we're going to do Monday, Wednesday, Friday visits, 9 o'clock to 3 p.m. indefinitely. With like no sleepovers in sight, like not increasing visits at all, not doing every day, just every other day, 9 to 3. And so I just mentioned, like, this has been going on for a while. It takes me 2 hours of my day to drive. It takes me half an hour to get there, half an hour to get home, and then another half an hour to go there and half an hour to come home. So it's 2 hours every day. And I'm homeschooling my kids, like, have a life, supposed to be doing things. And I said, I can't do this indefinitely. So, like, how long is this going on for? And her response to me was, then maybe you shouldn't be fostering. And I was like, a little bit livid, because I feel like we've been bending over backwards. Like, there are some days where I drive for an hour, come home, stay home for an hour, and drive back for another hour, because I've been phoned by birth family to come get kids or whatever. And I have like canceled plans and arranged my life around this, and I was just thinking, like, do I not, how do I even say this? Was I out of line to think that this was expecting a lot? So I went onto a Facebook group and just kind of very briefly laid out like how much we've been driving for visits lately and what the social worker had said. And I said, like, am I out of line to think that this is a little excessive? And thankfully the replies are to the effect of what I thought, that it's crazy. People said that you can get they can get someone to drive, help drive, whatever. So that is what I would like to see happen. I'm okay with driving sometimes, but the 2 hours is a little bit much. So yeah, it helped me to know that I wasn't way out there and thinking this was a little bit excessive and like taking so long. This was supposed to be wrapped up within like 3 to 4 weeks. So we were supposed to be done this before the end of September. Here we are at the end of November, still doing the same song and dance. Like, and they were doing daily visits before, and now they're only doing, or he's only doing every other day visits. So it's like backwards from how it was. So then, what day is here now? Thursday. So Wednesday morning, I went in after the roads were a little bit better, dropped off BB-8. So she was with us for 5 days instead of 3. Never heard anything about this grocery voucher that we were supposed to be getting, and dropped off R2 for the visit. And that day went as planned. Then Thursday afternoon, I got a call from the supervisor, who has been like so good. She was just asking if I had gotten a hold of someone and how things were going. And so I just mentioned a little bit of the plan moving forward, and also what the social worker had said to me about maybe maybe we shouldn't be fostering. And she was so quiet on the phone for a while, and a little shocked, I think. So it made me feel a little bit better, like, okay, this isn't just me being difficult to work with. And she said that we have been so accommodating, and it was nice to hear that, like, yeah, okay, this is a little bit out of the ordinary, and our efforts have been appreciated or whatever. And so she kindly said that I could go through her for my future needs or whatever, because through this all yet, right before, I think the day before we got the call to get BB-8 again, our social worker phoned me, our family social worker, so there's like one for the kids and then one for us, called to say she's moving to a different position. She's going to be in the placement area now, when they're the people that phone you when kids are in care, to see if you'll take a placement. So we are without a worker. So this supervisor has been so good to deal with. So, I just appreciate people that seem realistic. Yeah. So that's been a little bit of the journey. So I guess right now we are in the back into visiting phase. I did tell the supervisor that I wanted to drive this week, get R2 back into a groove, and then maybe coming up, like the week after this, maybe we could get someone to drive like the mornings, and then I do afternoon, so I'm only driving an hour every time instead of 2. She seemed to think that was a good idea. I need to figure out who I need to talk to as far as that goes. But then on Wednesday, I think my days are so messed up. Wednesday, when I went to pick up R2 from his visit, then I was by the office waiting for something at the place where I needed to pick him up, and I heard names and found out that our previous first foster placement that we had, Buzz and Woody, are actually in that same home, which just kind of makes a person stop and wonder for a bit. They have been moved around so many times in the last few years, and the place where they are it's a really good location. Like, it's a place where you know that the kids are safe, and I'm so thankful for that. But it's, once again, they've been moved from where they were just a few months ago, and I know how traumatized they already were from their many moves before they came to us, never mind the many that they've had in the last 2 years. And it hurts me to see how this broken system is breaking children, honestly. The one boy has like psychological problems, I'm sure, because of the trauma. Like, all this moving just it hurts me to see that there's no good family role models there. I see this cycle continuing, and it's hard. But at least we know they're somewhere safe right now, so that is helpful. And that is another update. Yeah. I'm going to be doing bookmas/vlogmas over on my booktube channel in December. I'm not sure how much I'm going to be posting here because I'm going to be posting there every single day from December 1st to the 24th. So it might be a bit much, but I have a few video ideas, like I said before. Just need the time and mental energy. Like that last week just drained me once again, and I finally feel recharged again. So we'll see where this goes. Thanks again for all your prayers. I ask that you'll continue to pray for us and the kids that we've had in our care, and yeah, and just the system, that maybe some changes can be found and the kids can be placed a little bit higher on the priority list.